meeting, which we call online meeting, how to save time and money for your company and keep your team productive and happy. I would like to say a big thank you for everybody who joined us this morning. And also one more thing, which I would like to let you know. We're gonna record this meeting, and please, if you don't want your name or your face being on the records, just please be sure that you rename yourself and that you don't have your picture on the screen. Other than that, you're more than welcome to stay with the video because it's really important for me as for the presenter to see your face, to see your reaction, and to be sure that what we're doing is really interesting and relevant for you. So with that, we start in the video recording and we start in our meeting. And yeah, we have 20 participants already and people going on joining us, which is really, really great. So let's move on because we have a very big program for today and just 90 minutes. One thing I would let you know also, if you will have some questions during the presentation, please use the chat. I will be looking through the chat and I will be either answering the questions as it is, or if I feel like we're gonna touch this later on, then I'll just keep the questions for the later on, because there might be questions about something we're gonna talk later. Great, so what's gonna happen today? Let's look into our agenda. And yeah, the intention of today is for you to have some new look at the preparations for your online meetings. And the desired outcome is to insights and practical learning so that you will leave this meeting with some new tips and tricks, knowledges, and ideas how to run your own online meetings. So we'll start from intro and check-in. Then we will talk about the purpose, why it's important to be effective when you're running your online meeting. And then we will talk about how to design your meeting, what are the toolboxes and what are the libraries, what are the key principles. And then we will touch the technicals and platforms. I will give you some review, but also please know that during the whole today's workshop, we're gonna use different tools and technical platforms, and you can get some ideas what you can do for your online meetings, just participating, being the active participant of today. So I'm presenter and facilitator, you all active participants, and we have our ground rules, as I said. Please mute yourself when you're not talking. If you can be with the video, please be with the video with us and put your questions to the chat. They all will be answered. We're gonna spend 90 minutes together, no breaks. Also, if we feel like we have more questions, and if you really want to ask them, we can stay a little bit longer, and I can talk to you and give you some practical advices if you need it. Great, so who I am and why I'm talking about this and why you need to listen to me and to believe that what I'm saying is something useful. My name is Natalia Sviridova. I'm doing team coaching and facilitating innovations. I have MBA in strategic management and I've graduated 1-year program in Hyper Island. And it's surprise, it was first ever distance program. We started before COVID. So I know everything about remote work and remote meetings. And I have 20 plus years of managing teams and projects within technical innovative companies such as IBM, Microsoft, Ericsson, Unity. So I was working in remote mode in a matrix organization for many, many years, managing people and teams. And I'm co-founder of company Hivework, and I'm doing this presentation on behalf of Hivework. And this is a company I started in the middle of 2020, in the middle of pandemic. And why? What's the mission of the company? We want to humanize the organizational culture and employees' experience through co-creating new normal on a remote workplace. So this is exactly what we're doing, and we're doing it through training, through facilitation, and through business consultancy, working with organizational culture. So this is who I am, and this is what's gonna happen. And as the next step, and as a very important step to start each and every online meeting, we're doing check-in now. And how we can do this, please, if you have this application on your phone, menti.com, then you can use code which you see on the screen, 877036. Other than that, you can try QR code which you see on the screen. And if nothing works for you, then please look to the chat, and you'll get the link in the chat. Please use this link. You can do it both from your phone and from your computer. So please let me know if you managed to get there. You can just write in the chat that you managed. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna I'm gonna ask you to write 3 main online meeting challenges for you when you organizing online meeting. Is everybody managed to get to Mentimeter? Because what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna share the screen which I have on Mentimeter. Need QR code. Okay, just a second. Just a second. It's a QR code. Okay. Everybody managed. Menti works well. Yeah, Menti is one of my favorite tools. And okay, so let's go and watch what we have on Menti. Just a second, I just need to check it out, what we have. Okay, and I'm gonna share the screen so you all see the results. So 3 main challenges: interactivity, engagement, energy, tech. Enthusiasm, focus, feedback, attendance, chat room, active participation, productivity, sound, pauses, interaction. Well, that's really great to see this. And it's exactly what I'm gonna talk about today, about most of those aspects. So yeah, let's move on. And let's move to our presentation. Just a second, I'm just moving through the presentation. Yeah, and now I'm sharing the screen. So I will tell a lot about facilitation. I will call it facilitation during today's workshop. But you should understand that this is something which anyone who is leading the online event and who wants to move your audience from point A to point B, what you're doing, it is facilitation. And in general, what facilitator does is planning, guiding, and managing a group event, ensuring that the group keeps the objectives and that everybody has a space and that everybody is involved. So this is what we will talk about today, how to facilitate. And when I was inviting you, I was saying that we will talk about how to save time and money for your company and how to keep your team productive and happy. What does that mean? Well, we saw it on Mentimeter just now that yeah, everybody is really in need of being effective, and everybody cares about the participants. So what's the experience? What experience do they have when they participate in the meetings? And if you're not effective, of course, it costs your company time and money. And I think we're all clear about that. So to save time and money, we need to be really effective when we're planning, when we're running, and we're following up our online events. So again, when we're talking about online events, I just want us to be clear what we're talking about. And this is just some types of group events which you might be involved into. I think one of the most popular is like a regular team meetings, which might be internal, external, and which might be including different elements like announcements, some updates, some information. It can be some strategical discussions or ideation or brainstorming sessions, which are much harder to arrange when you're doing this online. And I think this is what most of you feeling. It might be some educational activities like trainings, or when you need to onboard the newcomers to the company, and which is one of the most challenging areas now, as HR people saying. And it might be some events, both internal and external, and whatever kind of event, like meetup, conference, roundtable, whatever comes into your mind. And interesting for me, if you could answer in the chat, what type of event is the most common for you? So please look into this list of the events and just type in the chat what's your normal event, which you usually organize. Regular team meetings, or some strategical one, or education, or internal, external. If you feel like there is no event in this list, just add your event. It's really Interesting to see what else could be done. Yeah, start those regular team meetings, external strategic session, workshops. Yeah, yeah. As you can see, we have quite quite like a healthy combination of most of those events. Yeah, project meetings, exactly, team meetings, client meetings. Good. So all seminars and workshops. Yeah, that's great. So let's move on. And since now we know that it's all relevant for all of you, let's talk about what are the main differences between online and offline meetings. Because I can guess that 1 year ago you most probably you were organizing those kind of meetings mostly offline, and you probably noticed that it's a huge difference, and it's not just about technical tools and platforms. And in my list, it at the very end, because this is something very obvious and something we really can learn just watching YouTube or just asking colleagues. But what is becoming harder? The hardest part for me is socializing, because just entering to the meeting, you were socializing just on the way to your meeting, meeting your teammates in the elevator, meeting them near coffee machine, just having some chit chat on the way to the meeting room. Or you probably remember when people were entering meeting room and they were waiting when the meeting started, they were talking, and it was both personal and it was something about the current projects and sometimes some cross department information, whatever. Now we lost this completely, and this is what we should recreate artificially. uh, the other point, which everybody who was running offline meetings cares about, is the energy level. You all know that, especially if you're the speaker on the event, you are the one who creating the atmosphere. You are the one who creating the space and the room, and you're the one who bringing the energy. And I was talk with some motivational speakers who doing a lot of activities now, and they all were saying one thing: if you want to keep the same level of energy during your online event, you need to spend 20% plus of your energy into this event, because now you need to send your energy through internet, and it's a little bit different from just being in the room with the people. So this is what we should think about when we're planning and running the event. Talking about time and preparations, now, of course, we have less room for improvisation, especially having in mind that for some kind of discussions, you need some specific online tools. You need to prepare digital visualization, um, like Mural or Miro or Padlet, whatever. So you need to be well prepared just before the meeting. And during the meeting, sometimes you still need to improvise and always have some plan B if something goes wrong or if you're out of the timing. But it really means it's much more time for preparations, and you need to pay much more attention for timing. So that's the main thing which really um, we will be talking about this during today. And one more thing, we were talking, at least we start to talk about how to run online meeting. But there is the other role, which we also, I think most of us being in this role as well. For example, now you are in this role, it's participation. So how to be effective when you participate in the meeting. Of course, it's all about self-leadership, and it's you who should define why I'm here, why I choose to invest my time into this meeting, and what's my role, what I'm going to do, how I should benefit from the meeting, and if I can contribute to the meeting, and what is the outcome we need to reach together. So it's a big role on each participant as well not to be passive, not just wait for some miracles, but to support the one who is organizing the meeting, and to be really here and now, as Buddhists saying, because it's super crucial nowadays for all of us to be fully present. And what I'm going to do now, I want you to socialize a little bit with each other. And I will send you to breakout rooms for 3-4 minutes. And I want you to discuss in a very small groups. It will be 2 or 3 persons in the group. Just discuss what are main challenges when you participate in online meeting, when you the participant. And also please know that some of you, I don't know, it depends on your connection and on your device. If it would happen that you will be dropped from from our workshop, just rejoin it. And Sarah, who is helping me today, she will let you in again. So no worries. If something happen, it's just technical things. So we are here with you to keep you with us. So no worries. So yeah, I'm sending you to breakout rooms now. So please talk about 3 main challenges when you participate in online meeting. And here we are. So let's go to how many people we have. So online meeting. Please write in the chat what was the most interesting during your discussion. Attention. Yes, now we really need to concentrate to be really focused. Focus, yeah, the hardest thing. And I think that it's also, this is the room for improvement for the one who is facilitating, to know that it's really hard to keep focus. So this is what you should remember. All of your participants suffering from being focused. So yeah, what we can do around that. Big groups discussions. Yes, exactly. It's about platforms. It's about technologies. It's about how it is organized, because sometimes it's really hard to be a participant in the discussion if you cannot use the tools, or if they're not working properly. But it's also the not just technical issues, it's also the issues of how inclusive is the discussion. If everybody has a space for the discussion, because you know, some people, they loud no matter if they're online or offline, but for people who introverted, it's really hard sometimes. So it's also, it depends on the one who is facilitating to ensure that everybody has the voice. New culture in discussions, yeah, the patience, yeah, exactly. So that's what we're gonna talk about. Take the word in a meeting with the feeling that you interrupt the speaker. It's really hard, but it's also can be facilitated. Okay, so I will chat a little bit more, because I see that you had a really fruitful discussions here. Sound quality, yeah, that's live. I know that I have bad sound quality, by the way. I'm so sorry about this, but this is how it works with my techniques. How to simulate digital meeting as close as one-to-one, whiteboards, mind mapping, etc. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so now you've been in both shoes. in shoes of participant and in the shoes of the organizers. So keeping in mind these two perspectives, I would like us to move to the conversation about how to make it really productive, how to create the experience for the participants that be really effective during the meeting. And I like Simon Sinek, which saying that whatever you're doing, you should start with a why. And it's a lot about how our brain works. We need to have a purpose. We need to understand why we're doing what we're doing, and that will help us to concentrate on that. So planning your meeting always start with a why. And it's not just only to think if we really need this meeting in general, because depending on the question you're going to discuss, depending on the desired outcome, think about can you replace the meeting with something else? Can you have a group chat? Can you have some email thread, whatever? So it's up to you, it's up to your team and up to your organization how you're dealing with this. But I always say think twice why it should be a meeting. And if you answered yes, it should be a meeting, then when you start planning, you probably saw this slide at the very beginning when we just met this morning. And at Hyper Island, we call it I do art. And this is the, it's old school agenda, but it's structured in the way which helps you to focus on why you really want to meet people. And you start with the intention. What's the intention of meeting? And then you think, what's desired outcome? Because when you are responsible for the group experience to bring people from point A to point B. And you need, before you start thinking, are you going to do it on Zoom? Are you going to use Google Slides or Neural? First of all, think about the why, about the desired outcome. So where do you want to bring people with all those discussions? For example, today I was saying that I promise you, you will have some insights and some practical learnings. So the best possible desired outcome for you and me is that if we fulfill this together. Then agenda, this is something you all know, I'm not going to talk about this, but still be sure that you put everything you really want to discuss into agenda. Sometimes when you see the agenda, you do understand it's undoable during 1 hour, which you have for the meeting. So be clear with yourself. It's not going to happen. It should be 2 meetings or maybe 3 meetings. So it's better if you're clear about that from the very beginning. Then the rules. And as I told you before, it's up to you and up to your team. But of course, some basic things like, let's say, have cameras on when you have a team meetings. I would say it is mandatory. I would not run meeting with my team if someone has camera off. That's absolutely no. There might be some situation when you have your technical problems or something else, but on a regular basis, it's a big no because of verbal communications, which we should see the people faces. Then the roles, you might have people with the different roles, might be several presenters, might be someone who helps you to track the time or someone who making minutes of the meetings, whatever, up to you. But it's good to think if you need people with some specific roles, think about this beforehand. Timing, as I said, that's crucial. We all heard about the term Zoom fatigue. When people so unfocused, so unconcentrated, they feel sick, they feel depressed because I've heard so many times, we spent 4 hours on Zoom today, we did not make any productive decision. It's disgusting. This is what we should avoid. This is the responsibility of the person who is planning and driving the meeting. To be sure that the time which your team invested into the meeting is used in a way that you really achieve the results. So that's super important. And now when we know why we're doing this meeting and we planned this I do art, then we can talk a little bit about the key principles, how to design your online meeting so that you create the right flow and you create the right experience and you reach the goal which you were planning to reach. And there are 5 steps in designing online meetings. We call it 3P plus 2T. And I will talk a little bit about each of them. And first is preparations, and we just talk about this, intention. The other step of preparations is to think about experience content to ensure you have space for everybody during the discussions. And also planning agenda, content, if you need speakers and the flow. Then you think about the tools. Only after 3P, you're thinking about the tools. You are to decide if you need some visual communication tools, if you need some voting tools like Mentimeter we used, if you need some other interactive things. This is only the 4th step. So it is important, but you only decide it when you know what exactly going to happen on the meeting. And the other T, sometimes you can skip it. It's testing and iterating. And this works mostly for the educational meetings, for conferences, for some external activities. And I highly recommend you to test things, at least to test the equipment. But if you have time and if it's really something important, test the content, test the timing, try to get some feedback, try to walk in the participant shoes and try to understand, would this work for people? So those 5 steps are really crucial. And this is how to think about meeting, but don't be skeptical. If it's just a team meeting and it's team for 5 people, I would say that it's good to keep your eye on all at least 4 steps, just to be sure that you know what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, and you really understand that you will reach your goal. Then I would like to show you one practical things. I don't know if you familiar with the tool which we call Mural, but this is one of my favorite one. And I have prepared one exercise for us for today if we do have a time. But for now, I'd like to talk using Mural about how you design the flow of your meeting. And it's very important to go through all steps. It gives some necessary gamification. It supports, I mean, the whole flow is supported by the neuropsychology approach, how to be really effective. And it's really important for us when we're meeting to have some introduction or some first step when we start in the meeting so that everybody is landing here and now. Everybody understands what's going to happen and everybody feel like I belong to this group and I'm really here. I'm not checking my email in parallel. I'm not talking with my family or whatever. So this is why we need introduction. And for introduction, from the content perspective, for example, let's look into today's meeting. I was using this I do art tool for you to learn and to understand what's going to happen. And then I was a little bit warming you up. And if you remember, we did check-in and we were using Mentimeter for that. So that was also for us to warm up, to learn about each other's perspective a little bit. And this is how we will enter into the discussion. Then if we look into the big picture, no matter if you have one topic during the meeting like we have today, or if you're gonna touch upon 2 or 3 questions, the important big questions, there should be some stages like diverge and converge. So first you broaden in the discussion and you introduce the things. You give some piece of theory and you give some floor for the discussion. And then you emerge in this with the discussions, maybe some exercises. Maybe you need people to vote. Maybe you need some, some debriefing. And then you kind of start to converge in what was happening, and you're narrowing things down, and you're doing this with reflection, with voting, and with some next, like you're trying to summarize things. And after this topic is closed, then it's very important the conclusion. So there should be some summary. What happened today? What we have achieved in the group during this meeting? And what are the next steps? And are we going to do something as a next step so it's done or whatever? So it's important for people to see the big picture, what happened during this time. And this is also a moment when we're doing checkout, and we will talk about check-in and check-out questions and how you can use this to strengthening your point. For example, just like an example, if it was a educational session and you wanted people to remember something important, then the checkout question could be, what was your main takeaway from today? Or what you're going to use next 24 hours, not to forget the information or whatever. Also, you can see here from the content point of view, we need to keep the energy, we need to keep the floor. And there are several ways how you're doing this, and it's all about engaging. It's not like I'm increasing energy, just making some gestures or making my voice higher. Unfortunately, it does really work. People still can fall asleep, believe me or not. But you need to involve people. You need to take care that the participants are really involved. And the good way to do this is to ask the open questions, and the participants might either discuss it in the breakout rooms as we just did, or maybe answer you in the chat. Then you might do some icebreakers. That's for longer sessions, but sometimes it's really important for people which not know each other or which haven't seen each other for a long time. And the energizers and eye breakers might be very, very different. I will share the libraries with you so that you can choose whatever you need from the perspective, how many participants do you have, what kind of event it is, and how many time you want to spend on this. It might be from 1 minute when I will just tell you, guys, now let's jump. Or it might be some breathing exercise when I want to land people, say, okay, I see you, I feel some, bad energy or frustration, whatever, let's breathe together. I'm working in one company as a consultant, and we all business consultants, and we work with organizational culture, and we are very advanced in this. So we will meditating together as energizer. I don't understand, maybe it's not for each and every audience, but I felt so great after just 5 minutes meditation. I built such a connection online with the people in my team. It was just, it was amazing how does it work online. And of course, if the event is more than hour and a half, then your audience will need breaks. It might be some bio breaks. It might be some longer breaks if you intend them to have some food in between. But what I would say about that, when people coming back from the breaks, be sure that they really landed here. So again, you need to take care. You need to think that people are here with you. And you might have some very small exercise, like if you're making some, exercises with the fingers, or, some fun, or show me your room, or what do you see from your window, whatever works for the audience, it's up to you. You feel your audience, you know your audience, you know what would work better. But just remember that these things like energizers and breaks, they're really important for people to be focused, because it's a utopia that you can just talk and talk and talk and for several hours and everybody will be listening to you. And now I know that a lot of educational uh, organizations, they facing the troubles because they used to this format and they just trying to replicate it online, and the engagement of people is really low because they're not keeping the basic rules. You need to energize people, you need to engage people, and you need to give them some breaks. So that's really, really important. Uh, so this is the picture which I really like. And later on, I will share in the chat and in the presentation, I will share the link to this mural. And all of you will have a chance to enter. You don't need to register. You don't need any passwords or whatever. And I wanted you to see the very big picture. So Mural made a great job. They systemized everything I'm talking about today in a one big mural so that you can keep it in front of you when you making preparations. And even so, if you're not going to use mural, because I do understand maybe not of you really using it, it's kind of complicated one. But if you see this picture in front of you, it will help you a lot to check, like it's like a checklist. Am I done with my preps? Is anything else I can do to improve the flow of my meeting or whatever? So I encourage you to look into this and you know, to really to use it and play with it a little bit because it's really great. And now I'm moving back to our presentation. Just a second. And maybe while I'm moving, maybe you do have some questions already now regarding what we were talking about. So please put this into the chat because I do understand that it's quite a complicated topic and you might have some practical questions here. Okay, so if we don't have questions for now, let's move on. And based on what we were talking about, I just wanted to summarize it a bit on one slide. So what I highly recommend, whatever meeting you're running, cameras on. Don't forget about warming up and energizers to keep energy level. Also remember that you can engage people, asking them questions, asking them to vote, asking them to do something. Remember the breaks and remember to return people back after the breaks mentally. One more thing, keep it short. So when you look into your plan, always try to think, can I delete something from this? Is it really necessary to do this? Will it really bring me to from point A to point B to talk about this or to show this slide or to do this exercise? So try to think very critical. Try to minimize the online time to make it more effective. And summarize. And this is important because in online format, it's more common that people might be flying away, or maybe just making another cup of coffee, or maybe a dog or cat entered, or maybe a husband, or maybe kids running around. So summarize so that each and every participant ending up the meeting with the same picture, seeing the results of decision-making process, see the main points and see the next steps clearly. So that's really, really important for the meeting. And now let's look a little bit into some very practical things. So what I want you to see is the session lab. It's a library and it's a planning tool. So when I'm saying library, this is the place where you can see a lot of exercises, not just energizers and some check-in exercises, but also there are a lot of things for design thinking, some strategical sessions and some retrospectives and whatever. And I was really surprised because end of last year, the International Association of Facilitators, they um, they opened the closed library through Session Lab, and they give access for free for 1 month. But yesterday, when I was checking it out, what I can say, guys, I have a good news for you. It's still for free. So um, I see something in the chat. Yeah. Great. Yeah, exactly. This is a link to Session Lab. So, and the link will be in my presentation later on. But what I gonna do, I'm gonna show you some very practical exercise. What I did in Session Lab for one small team development session, which I recently was running for one of the companies. So now you see my screen and you see how exactly it looks like. Why it's great to plan your event in tool like Session Lab. Or, I mean, sometimes you can do it in Excel file, but what is great about this tool is that, first of all, as I said, it's a library. And now I'm clicking the library and you see so many facilitation techniques. You can see for your team, the energizers, idea generation, issue resolutions, whatever. And I was saying that International Association of Facilitators, they shared all the treasury they have and you have access to it for free. That's really great. And also Session Lab, it has free trials. So what I'm sharing, this is a free account. So yeah, it's just to understand how it works. And now I want you to see how I was planning team development session. So you can see this tool lets you count the timing and here the points of agenda, and you can put description, you can enclose each and every documents, comments, pictures, whatever in one place, and you can storage it for you. And you can see your timing, and it's really easy. You see you're changing it, for example, and you see the summary here, which is really important when you're planning. And what I like about this tool is that here, what I'm doing now, you can see what kind of exercise it is. It's for you to reflect upon, oh my God, am I having just theory? Where are the breaks? Or where are the exercises? Or where are the energizers? So that's really a great tool for self-reflection and for like double checking if it's healthy enough, if my flow is healthy enough from the energy perspective. So do I have everything which is needed? And this is what I like about Session Lab because it shows you things. But of course, as I was saying before, I started to practice with Starter Lab. Now I'm easily doing it in Excel file. So it's no matter where you're doing this. It's just important if you really very clear with yourself about, okay, this is gonna take 70 minutes. Sorry, but it means just 20 minutes left. So how I'm gonna spend it? So it helps you to calculate time and to be very, very clear on how many time you really have. And of course, I mean, this is just a tool. I'm not saying this tool is making some magic and telling you the real time. It's still you who put in the time there. So, and it comes with the experience, of course, but still it helps you to be more conscious about what you're planning. And you can see the holistic picture, how it looks like, and if it's really how I want it to have. Or maybe I want to make it shorter, or maybe I really need to add something because this does not work and it's not good. So yeah, that's a session lab. And thank you so very much for sharing this in the chat. Yeah, let's move to the presentation. And let's look into the different libraries. So this is the information I will share with you as well. But what I want you to understand that there are different kind of libraries. And it's all for free, it's all online, and you can use it even if you're not professional facilitator. You should not be scared with this terminology. You always can go into those tools and check it out. For example, the session lab we just saw, it's libraries, and it's also the tool which helps you to track your flow. Then I put here Easy Retro. This is a great tool for different type of retrospectives if you're running it with your teams. Then, of course, as a HyperAlert graduate, of course, I put HyperAlert Toolbox. It's great. I'm using it always. I mean, it contains everything I need. And during the pandemic time, HyperAlert made a special toolbox for remote work. And this is a place you can also read some blogs with some useful information. It's very concentrated. So if you want to look into some practicalities, then this is a place for you. I also like Toolbox, and it's a great library. It's very similar to HyperAlert, but it contains the toolboxes from several organizations. It's really cool. And the last link which I put here is checking questions. And it's really funny because it's just a generator, random generator of checking question. It's just asking you, what do you want to achieve with your check-in? Is it to bring people to creative mood? Is it to wake up people? Is it to bring them into the discussion mood, whatever? So it really can help you, and it's funny, and it's like really, really nice, and it's really simple to use. So I encourage you to try those tools and to see the beauty of them. And sometimes it gives lots of ideas and inspirations, and sometimes it helps just, to switch from your normal way of thinking about building some discussion to, oh, okay, so we can do this from the exercise. So look into this, and there are much more, of course, and I just didn't want to spam. So I choose the one which are very simple, very basic, and very universal. So it's not for some professionals. So it's for professional everybody. I have comments into the chat. Metro Retro, another great tool. Wow. And Swedish. There is support for this in my manager. Yeah. Thank you, Pernilla. It's really a great things, and I'll check it out. It's really great. And Susanna's question, was it, I don't know, Susanna, what was this about? Is there support for this in the Mind Manager? This, I unfortunately, I cannot answer this because I'm not using my manager. So if somebody knows, please share your wisdom, your collective wisdom. Okay, so we're quite good with the schedule. So if you're ready, I want you to jump into some small exercise in Mural. And I don't think it will work good for people who join from mobile devices or iPads, but I hope very much most of you will manage to join us. Even if you're in mobile device, then you still can join. I'm just not sure that you will be able to work with us. So please join us in the Mural. I put the link in the chat. And now I'm going into the mural. Perfect, so a lot of people joining. I will give you some time to join. Meanwhile, this is the mural I was mentioning before. This is the one which I highly recommend you to look through after our meeting. And for now, just for us to make it easier to work with this document, what I'm doing right now, I'm hiding the zones which we will not use right now, but I will make it visible later when we will finish the exercise. I think I'll share my screen just in case, but I encourage you not to look to my screen. I encourage you to join us in the mural. And please let me know if you have problem with this, but I see quite a lot of people here. So please try to go to the area which you can see the map. You see the map? The black map. Look, a bit ugly. Okay, and this is the energizer exercise for us. I just want you to be conscious about what we're doing because you're the one who's gonna reuse this knowledge. And please, let's fantasize a little bit. I know that we all stuck home. We all almost not traveling. And I know that for most of you, this is the important part of life, and not just business life, but also traveling for pleasure, traveling to see friends and traveling to see your family. So please think about where would you love to go when we don't have any travel restrictions, and don't limit yourself with the money or time or whatever, some dream destination. Where do you want to go? And I see that some of you already started to do this. This is great. And you can use both sticky notes or you can use these red markers. Just grab one. They're in all corners. Just grab one and put it into your dream destination. And let's dream together a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people wants to go to Mediterranean. Somebody missing the place in Latin America, which I cannot identify. My dream destination for now is Moscow. I'm Russian. I haven't been home a year and a half, so I want to see my mom and my friends. This is mine in the middle of the continent. Okay, cool. I see someone is trying to go to Dominicana or some Caribbean countries. Madagascar dreaming, yeah, exactly. We all need some sun. You can also, if you manage sun, if you know how you can write the exact name of the destination, it will help us a bit because, yeah, this map is not perfect. We don't see the country without flying. Yeah. Okay, cool. So many places on the earth which we really, really want to visit. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for the exercise. And I see somebody still moving. Thailand, El Hierro Island. Yeah, great. But now I want your attention back. I hope we all energized a bit because dreaming is energizing and especially dreaming about traveling. So here's something in the chat. Can join over mobile without login. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Bernina. Yeah, that can happen because this tool is mostly for the, of course, I know some people working from mobile devices when they're using those tools, but of course, it's designed mostly for the desktop, and that's just easier. Okay, but at least I hope you see the screen and you see that we are enjoying and you can dream with us. And if you want, I can put your point wherever you want to go. So just let me know. I'll do that for you. Great. And so before we move to the presentation, now I hope you all see my screen now. So you see that I'm making visible all the rest of the I'm making visible for you. So you will have several days because then I will need to clean up. But you have several days to join this mural, copy this, or to understand the principles. You can also download it, whatever you want to do with this. And this is a mural which was prepared for those who planning online meetings, not necessarily using mural because as I said before, there are key principles, there are all important things, and I was reusing some of the materials in my presentation because I really like the way how they did it because it's a very holistic picture on the online meeting. Good, so now we live in the mural. Can we get the tips from this chat together with the slides flow from the presentation? Sarah, will we have a chance to write down the chat? I'm not promising to send you the chat, guys, but I think that I can export the links into the presentation.
You can copy the chat, Natalia.
Ah, perfect. Great.
But you shouldn't send it to everybody. Just make sure that.
Yeah, I think that I can just look it through and extract the useful links which we'll share and just put them into the presentation, into the slide with the libraries. And yeah, and then we can share this with the participants, right? Great, so let's move on, and we have a little bit more time to look into the technical practicalities finally, because they are existing. I'm not declining that it's important. And this is also the slide which you might see in the mural. So it's a very good system showing what kind of technical tools you might need to organize your remote work in general, and of course, your remote meetings as well. And what I'm saying about this variety of the tools, of course, sometimes you can feel like, oh my God, it's hopeless. There are so many tools. All tools existing almost every day. I can say you guys, the people who develop in the online collaboration tools now is like they are super happy and super active because this is their time. So don't feel scared about this. My recommendation is try to think, okay, so there are a lot of tools, which one I'm gonna use in general? And I mean, practice them one by one. For example, since I'm very much connected with facilitation and sometimes I do it for the customers who has their own platforms. And of course, when we're talking about video and chat, I'm not only using Zoom, I'm using Google Meet and I'm using Microsoft Teams. but I also know about some other tools because everybody can have their own, so I need to learn this. But if you running your event, then it's you who is choosing things, and just ensure you're choosing one tool, you feel comfortable with this tool. There are lots of videos and materials online, and you can learn and you can practice with your colleagues just before the event. As I was telling you, it's five, it's second tier testing. So just don't feel scared about this. It's great that we have a lot of them, but you just need to choose one. So today we were using Zoom. As visual collaboration, we were mostly using Google Doc, but also we tried some energizing on the mural. This is the tool we saw how it works. And for interaction, I was using Mentimeter, so this is on top, but there are much more things how you can interact with your audience. And would be interesting for me and for you as well, because now we will learn a little bit how to use whiteboard option in Zoom. So please make your choice and try to go to annotate mode and try to put on this slide what are your favorite tools, which one you use mostly when you planning your meetings, when you're running your meetings. So please join us. Great, Sabina, join us. Sabina, could you please move a bit? Yeah, so it's moved. Yeah, so Microsoft Teams. Yeah, Sabina loves Zoom. Padlet, Mentimeter, Mural, Kahoot. Wow, you're so advanced, guys. That's really cool to see this. Awesome. Miro. Ilanot. Yeah, and by the way, if you feel like there is no tool which you really like, then please write it on this slide, because that's really important to see. And meanwhile, I'm asking the question: how can you export the mural? There is an export option in this. It's the red button, and you can do it. It depends. So you can do it in PDF, for example. I think that's the most relevant, and it will come to your email. I'm just thinking that maybe if you were not registering, if you just enter without registration, that there might be no option like this. But then just try to enter this with the registration. Wow, I see such a love shower to Microsoft Teams. I'm really proud because I was a part of Microsoft team. I was working for this company for several years. So I'm really happy to see this. So cool. So cool. Great. So I think now it's time for us to move forward. And I'm just trying to save what we did together. And now I'm making clear. You see the magic? Yeah, this is how it works. And thank you very much for comments. And now we are moving forward to the next slide. So this is a summary of what we looked through today. So important, start with the why. Why I need this meeting. What is my why? What I want to achieve with this meeting. Then when you're preparing 3P plus 2T, think about content and employees experience. Think about energizers, think about breaks, and think about how you're gonna build your discussion. Then we looked into different libraries like Session Lab and the perfect neural story, how to do this. Tried some platforms and tools, Zoom and Neural. And also, I just want you to, like when we're summarizing, just look into what we did. So we started the meeting with I do art, which I shared with you, what's gonna happen. Then I make an introduction, then I send you to Menti as a warming up check-in. After that, it was a small piece of theory, after which I sent you to breakout rooms to talk with each other a little bit and to exchange your opinion. Then after that, we had some other piece of theory and I was asking you some questions and talking with you in the chat. And then we went to Mural and we did a nice dreaming together, nice energizing exercise together and look into the session lab and how you can build the floor. And then we look into different platforms and tools, and we were saying that we should not be scared of using different platforms and tools. We just need to choose maybe one, start with one, feel comfortable with that. And then if you feel like you need to learn something else, then just move on. So this is what we did today together. And it's a really great journey, I would say, to summarize and to look into like to have a holistic view on each and every online meeting we're gonna deliver for our organization, for our customers. That's really great. And I would like you to know that my company, Highwork, we're not just training the people and organizations, we also doing facilitation as a service and team development sessions and strategic sessions and like some ideation things. I'm working in design thinking methodology myself, and I really enjoy service design as a great tool which works to design almost everybody in our universe. And if you want to contact with Highwork or with me, so this is the QR code, this is the address where you can find me always. And to finish our conversation, I would really like you to answer the question, what's your main takeaway from today? And maybe together with this question, please think about maybe you're still staying with some question, maybe something still unclear for you. And sometimes, at least in my culture, people shy to ask questions. They're afraid to look stupid. But what I can say, there are no stupid questions. I'm sure that in the moment when you have some question and you think, oh, maybe it's stupid, there are at least several more people on this call who have the same thought. So be brave and please ask this question. And for this checkout, I think it would be really a great if we could, since we have time and since it's very like a flexible event and very friendly, I would say, I would like you just unmute yourself and just talk and just share with us because it will help the others to summarize. What's your main takeaway? And if you're still staying with some questions, so you're very, very welcome. And I also see that some people are gonna leave, and so that's totally okay. And thank you so very much for being with us. I hope you benefit from this, and I hope you will be able to use your knowledge during 48 hours. This is a mantra. Use what you knew during 48 hours, and then it will stay with you. If you don't, it will disappear. Great. So please, who wants to share what was your main takeaway? And with that, if you have any question, please ask, and just ask it when you're sharing. I think it would be very beneficial for the rest of us to listen. Please, popcorn style, whoever is ready, just unmute and just talk. Yeah.
I really enjoyed this. I've been studying facilitation and so on, and now how to use it in the digital meetings is very good. A lot of new tools for me, and I really try to use this within the 48 hours so it will stuck in this old head. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing.
Hi.
Yes.
I also thought that the session lab tip was really good and helpful. I will definitely use that right away. And also I really think that doing these exercises, the icebreakers, really did help. I didn't think that they would as much as they did actually.
Thank you. Yeah, session lab is my love. I mean, I only shared today what I really love. So neural and session lab, I don't know how to survive without really, because it gives so many freedom, so many room for improvisation, but it also structures you. And yeah, and so the good thing, you can try both for free and look into this, and maybe you make a decision you want to buy it. Cool. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Maybe some questions. I had a question about how to export neural. So since we have time, I'll show you this. I'm making a demonstration of the screen now, so you can see my neural. And you can see here export. And you push this, and there are several options. Either you can have PDF for image, or you can publish it as a template. And truly, it is a template. It's a neural template. So what I can do, I can see the name of this template and put it into my presentation as well, so that you just go to neural, go to templates, search the name of this template, and you have it's your own. So you don't need to export this. You just open it and you can work with this. So this is what I can do. Okay, so we have chat. Let me check it. Was great session. Inspiration. That's the most important, because I was here to inspire you, because I know that sometimes we all feel so stuck with the ideas in this new online universe. And truly, I'm not a technical person, even though I was working in technical companies. Tech is not my thing, which I mean, when I need to do it by hands. So it was totally out of my comfort zone when I was trying this Zoom things first time, for example. And I also see in the chat that a lot of people really like the option annotate. So play with this, try it, because sometimes there is also one tip which I would like to talk about. Today I had the idea to show you as much tools as we can for this time. But usually when you run in your meeting, you don't have this obligation. Your obligation is to make the experience of the participant optimal and make it easy for you. So sometimes you want to visualize something, or you want people to vote, but you don't want to use mural for that. And it means that you just put different options on the slide and you let people to annotate in the Zoom, and you have immediate reaction. Because yeah, sometimes of course you might say, but there are tools in the Zoom, but there are different situations. For example, today I'm facilitating in the external Zoom, it's not mine. And to have a pool, I need to pre-arrange it before I started the meeting. So it was not an option for me today. And then, okay, let's be creative, what we can do with it. Then we can annotate. So to know these little facilitation tips and some functions, which may be not that obvious, you make it easy for yourself to pre-plan and to arrange things, depending is it your platform or it's the other organization platform, or how experienced people are. Are they connecting with mobile devices, or are they connecting with the mostly desktop? So it's very much depends on that. So you just need to be in their shoes and to think what will be the optimal experience for them. Yeah, so people are living, and I don't understand. It's a perfect morning. I think we're all in Sweden, and in this case, if you guys in Skåne enjoy this day, because we have some snow in Skåne, if you notice. At least I have it in my village. So I wish you a great day. I wish you great next 48 hours, when I hope very much you will try things. And if you have more questions, please feel free to connect with me, and I will be super happy.
Natalia,
yeah.
I have one more question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a similar function to annotate in Teams?
This is a little bit hard to answer for me, because I never used this in Teams. So it's just something.
Is there anyone else who knows, maybe?
But also one more thing about Teams, you should understand that each and every organization might have a little bit different pre-settings. So whatever we would answer, it might not work. So my recommendation is to Google this and then to check it out in your particular account, because it's a huge difference. I've been working in some external accounts, and I saw that it's such a variety of what can be possible and what's absolutely impossible in the team. So please try.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for all tips and tricks.
Thank you. So I dropped my LinkedIn account in the chat. Please feel free to connect me, and please feel free to ask more questions. I'm here to answer you. And if you feel like you need external facilitation or some training or whatever, then I'm here for you. Great. Okay, so have a great day, and thank you so very much for being with us. And also big thank you to go to Tan and to Sarah, who was here behind the screen supporting me, helping me out. So thank you so very much that you arranged this meeting and made it happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.